"See?" she said, as the half-dozen or so pigeons gathered around the bench drew back and away from the popcorn and Lois, as if a silent signal had been received. "It's almost as if they know something I don't. Maybe they know more than most of us, only in different ways. Too bad they can't talk, like parrots. I'm not so sure we can't trust parrots. They have a way of looking at me, as if they know something I should but don't." Corey smiled. He was a small man, wearing carefully faded jeans and a green polo shirt with the collar turned up in back. He had on a Mets cap, tilted so it made him look a little jaunty. "Haven't you ever noticed pigeons get that way just before sundown?" "No, but I'll take your word for it. What do you think? Some protective instinct?" "Sure." The pigeons around them fluttered but went nowhere, as if on cue. "They know it's almost bedtime." Actually, Corey had no idea how pigeons thought, especially New York pigeons. You didn't notice them for a while, then some days they seemed to be everywhere. Dumb birds, skittering around and almost getting stepped on or run over, but never quite. He knew they were prey to the peregrine falcons that roosted on some of the tall buildings along Central Park West, almost directly across from where he and Lois were. Beautiful, deadly creatures. Corey thought it would be great if one of the large falcons swooped in and made off with one of the pigeons. Apropos, though Lois didn't yet know that. "What's in the bag?" she asked, pointing to the large canvas bag at his feet. It was dark blue with black straps and handles and doubled as a backpack. "Sweaty clothes and exercise equipment," he lied. "I was working out at the gym before I came here." "The one on Amsterdam?" 72nd Street, Corey said, figuring there must be a gym somewhere on 72nd. Not that it mattered, unless Lois happened to go to a gym in that neighborhood. Corey hadn't been to a gym in years. There were so many much more interesting things to do without breaking a sweat. He prodded the bag with the toe of his shoe and glanced around. Shadows were longer and more defined. It would be dark soon. "Why don't you come with me?" he said, picking up the bag, then slinging it over one shoulder by one padded strap. "Where?" "Out of the park. It's a dangerous place after dark, full of predators." She smiled. "I'm not afraid when I'm with you." He returned the smile with his own. Ever wonder why that is? He wished sometimes for a victim whose intellect he could respect. She stood up from the bench, brushed popcorn from her blouse and jeans, and turned to go. The pigeons that had ventured nearer fluttered, cooed, and closed in on the discarded popcorn. It must seem tastier to them, now that Lois was leaving. "This way," Corey said, motioning toward a stand of trees and thick foliage. "This is the way out," Lois said, starting in another direction. "I know a better way," Corey said, and folded her hand gently in his. He thought about the jogger, wondering if she was back on the crowded streets by now, or even home if she lived nearby. A woman like that would explore every nuance of her pain. It was part of the instinct to attempt escape, or to find some hoped-for measure of mercy in her predator. He felt Lois squeeze his hand 3 times, like some kind of secret signal. He signaled back. There would be plenty of time later for the jogger, if that was what he decided. It would be up to him. A soft breeze kicked up, breaking the heat and swaying the upper limbs of the trees they were walking toward. Lois shifted her weight and walked alongside him, and he was glad he didn't have to tell her yet that, for her, there was no way out of the park. Not that it mattered. She'd soon find out. She was going somewhere much more interesting.